Okay, so that's kind of a long story. So, like I said, I migrated back from Dubai to India, and I joined this college, and all this happened. So, in 2013, actually, I started this venture of mine under the brand Ourea. Like I said, my people were, since I failed, that was not a small failure. Okay, it was a kind of pathetic failure where I happened to lose around 500 crore.
Hello and welcome to Inventiva's interview series, where we talk with young and bright entrepreneurs and they tell us about their startup journey and how they got to where they are today. I am Ayushi Marvah, and today we are in conversation with Ms. Anooja Bashir, founder of OureanSoul Private Limited, a branding and web development company that has rapidly grown as a leading enterprise in Kerala. Welcome, Ms. Bashir. How are you doing today?
Doing great, Ayushi. I'm doing great, and thank you for the opportunity to invite me to this platform and share my insights.
It's an honor. Okay, so to begin with the question, seemingly obvious but never obvious, how, why, and when did you decide to start your own venture?
So to begin with, I would put it across like entrepreneurship was never my choice. It's kind of like it bumped onto me. So I never knew even the terminology as such of what it is. But eventually, some things are destined. So to begin with my career, I began my career as a civil engineer, and I was based in Dubai. So due to children's education and stuff, I had to migrate back to India, Kerala. That time I happened to join an engineering college. There I was kind of confused with the curriculum happening with the engineers out there, because education seems like nothing much, in a span of 10 years or like a decade, no much difference as all can see. There are innovation happening, but compared to the innovation that is really happening, no much drastic changes. So I wanted to do something for these students, wherein my concept was to create a finishing school. So that was my idea of something contributing towards it on the education system. I started with it, but like every entrepreneur, your ideas, your vision, your goals, it kinds of it evolves, and you become something different what you want to do also. So that actually I became an entrepreneur in that way. So I would say that joining that college was the turning point where I decided, I have that skill set where I can contribute towards the society and bring in some sort of changes. I really wanted to become a change maker. That was my concept about getting involved in an entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Right. And when was it then you decided and went ahead with the plan then?
Okay, so that's kind of a long story. So, like I said, I migrated back from Dubai to India, and I joined this college, and all this happened. So, in 2013, actually, I started this venture of mine under the brand Ourea. Like I said, my people were, since I failed, that was not a small failure. Okay, it was a kind of pathetic failure where I happened to lose around 500 crore. So that's again, because the thing is that I come from a typical corporate field. So what I've seen in Dubai, the way you create that quality class and stuff. So I invested too much money, infrastructure, staff, all that high-end kind of stuff. I'm talking about a decade back. Okay, so like nearly a decade back. So that time, this concept of entrepreneurship was not the way it is. It is today. So that actually, so we thought that we have to invest more, impress people. You have to always maintain that class. Wrong kind of concept. So that actually ended up, and I had a concept, but the implementation part, I never even thought about it. I didn't know the topography of the place, the mindset of the people. So that was failure. And like I said, my folks were also not that very keen into it because I had a very good job. An expert in, I was an estimation manager and stuffs like that. So everything was cool. I used to get time with my kids, family and stuff. So my family didn't want me to do at all because we never had that, all our financially also we were all doing quite well. So no urge of, of a member from their family get into this and spend a lot of time in this. So, so they were completely kind of against, okay, to be very honest, in simple words. So, but what I did is that on a periphery note, I kept like, I binded up the book of entrepreneurship, Zip. And then, but that was a kind of hibernation mode where I was actually analyzing the market, understanding people. I was understanding the real, what do you call the kind of what do you call that wave or the thing in the air in the entrepreneur ecosystem in Kochi.
Right.
So that actually gave me a lot of insights. That's what. So I understood that, okay, I have to change my strategy. I have to, and I understood that education was a very kind of high-end competitive field, and already there are people in that, and nobody was ready to accept innovation as such. Though even that time also innovation was a very bright word, but practically speaking, nobody wanted to accept it. And people wanted to buy my concept. That's all fine, but no way me doing it. And the thing is that even I didn't want to share my concept as such, so I was like, every entrepreneur's dream, my concept is mine. So I kept it. And then I thought, that how do I raise this money? Because already I've lost money. How do I raise it? So second time again, I pitched back in. It took me 2-3 years to understand what this market is. And eventually I joined a real estate company as a GM sales and marketing, because I was very good with marketing thing, which eventually I knew it. Eventually I came to realize, though that was there in me, because when I was in Dubai also, I was in contracts engineering estimation manager and stuff like my profile was it. So I used to handle a lot of clients. So I understood my skill set. I was very good in conveying message, understanding on a conceptual basis and stuff like that. That was my key kind of forte stuff. So that's why I plunged back into marketing. And being in the real estate field, I came to really know the depth of different marketing strategies, plans, implementation and stuff, and playing with different platforms, channels, coming in contact with so many people, developed a great network. So that's what I came back into 2017. Eventually, again, it was going good, but somewhere I got a blowback again there, but I didn't tell anybody, because this time I didn't want to do it. You understood, no? Because already it's said that you can't do it. So I kept within me. That was my real struggle period, because I couldn't even convey it to this is happening to me. And but then there was a choice, Ayushi, whether I should take up entrepreneurship or should I turn to my corporate field, where I would get a very good job because of my expertise, experience, and every industry was kind of so much welcoming.
Right.
But I knew it. If I didn't start at that time, I'm nowhere going to be an entrepreneur, because it's like that. So, or else somebody would start it. And then, I took the call. I 2018, I developed Ourea, again, back very strong with my partner, Chako. And then, from a staff of, by the time a lot of, like I said, second time we had a bit of failure. I had to give it up. It was not because of strategy or anything. It was just because the team wasn't that good, and not my fault. But again, like I said, I depended on my associates, good, wherein they didn't make the payment and stuff. Financial stuff. So I was in mid of it, so I had to clear up all those stuff. So this time it was a blunt, stupid, emotional thing, which I trusted people. So then that also made me understand that you have to get things on a more professional platform where everything should be clean, crisp, and everything is a learning.
Right.
The third time when I launched it back, no, that was something which I think that failure taught me, so much, which no Harvard, no Stanford, nothing can teach me, because
Right.
eventually I understood this is practical thing, which, because we are dealing with human minds, people are kind of like, with different mindset. So you have
Right.
to think before them. So yeah, and then putting all the ingredients that I've learned from my failures into the bucket, mixed it, grinded it very well, and then thankfully I got a good crew, and yeah, and then we went ahead. That time the mega hit chaotic thing, Corona came in. Okay, so that time I was like, oh no, not again, not again. Third time, no way. So, that time, that is where the real entrepreneur evolved in Upper, because I understood that if there is a problem, for sure there's a solution. So
Right.
I understood that, I have to think in a different manner. For example, if you speak about Intel, I would just narrate an example which makes people understand what exactly the difference of the power of marketing strategy. So
Right.
Intel was a kind of a memory chip manufacturing company. Okay, so they were doing good. By the time, what happened was that the Japanese people came into this field. They gave a hatta competition out there. And since these Intel people spend a lot of money on this R&D stuff and all, they couldn't compete with the Japanese companies' cheap price. So this is where they were going to be doomed. Actually, I'm talking about Intel. Okay, Intel. Okay. So what happened was that the approach they took was that actually even their top man it's I've read in an article, like, even the top management didn't knew that there was a different change in the strategy which was happening, which was evolving, because the product I mean the product design managers, I mean the head kind of management, not the top management, but the people who run it, the operation ones, they actually understood that if they're bringing in memory chip manufacturing, nowhere they're going to give a competition to the Japanese company. That is where they evolved this company into a microprocessor stuff, which was a different field. Again, the advantage was for them was that they had a very good manufacturing lab and all setups, everything they had. They just tweaked the domain a bit. And today, what Intel is world's largest microprocessors chip company. So that is what the strategy they evolved with. What they have, the limitation they came across, they took the problem into a different status, and finally they became so successful. So that is what the tweak is called, the strategy.
Right.
So like I said, lot of failures, lot of reading, lot of experience, lot of networking. This made me think, what am I supposed to do? So I understood that marketing was very good. We were more focusing on strategic marketing than, so the strategic marketing itself was the key forte, which helped me to do, tweak that stuff. So I started thinking. So we were doing a designing a part of it, which was going good, and I had very good designers. So though we were more kind of designers. I mean, I had different verticals, like, designing, strategic marketing, then IT. We had IT also that time, then HR and training and stuff. But I eventually understood what is that thing which is very happening during the COVID days, because which everyone require.
Right.
What was evident during that time, digital presence is something which is inevitable.
Right.
That time I understood, if me being a IT development company, I've got so many people. So what is my competitive advantage? Because I need something that people choose me than others, no?
Right.
There I took that designing thing into a branding one. So, that 2020 ka thing, which gave us a really great mileage. We put in a lot of efforts. I took a lot of courses, interacted with so many people. And since I was also I do paint, and I do I like all these things. And my designers also were very quite good. We blended very well. So from there, we created a branding team. Like I said, I did a deep research in that. I bought some strategic, management people who are good with this branding thing into our system, and then that made wonders. You know what, the branding, when blended with the IT development thing, we could give something visual. The visual elements we created was so beautiful that compared to the normal IT ka tech thing and the IT blended with the creative thing, that created a huge massive difference. And then it's kind of, rest is history. And I don't know, I got so many awards after that. Award ke baad award, and people are asking like, what was that success mantra of yours? Trust me, it was just that single strategy or single thought process that came into my mind. Okay, fine, let's get into branding. And today we are in competition with those branding agency which are already into the market, maybe more than a decade or more than 5 years. We are only into 2 to 3 years. But the difference we have created is because we understood that to get a competitive edge over them, we have to dig deeper, very deeper. And what is that we can give? What is a value proposition we can give? What other additional things we can give compared to the other competitors? That okay, they say that okay, she's the best, her system is the best, or the team is the best.
Right.
So, we developed something like that, and eventually what, one customer comes in, he takes branding, from there he takes IT, from there he takes HR and training. So all of our thing is getting filled. So that is why we finally evolved into that concept of ours called the 360-degree business management into operational effectiveness once we created the right strategy. That branding concept made us an actual 360-degree company, because once a client becomes our client forever, because they get either of one of the, they are associated with us taking one or the other services. So that's how we evolved into what we are today.
Absolutely. So how did you come up with the name? How did you decide to call it Ourea?
Yeah, okay. Before that, it is Ourea. It is not Ourea.
Okay.
Because that O-U-R is there. People,
right.
Usually people say too much. Some people call it Ourea because it's connected to that biscuit brand.
Right,
so
right.
Somewhere, eventually when it started, it was like, people used to remember at least Ourea, that because of the biscuit brand. So I really used to get pissed off with the fact that people, why are you spelling it in? But the thing is that it can be, the accent is kind of like, how we pronounce it is kind of very much different. Because people don't know what is actually the word. It's not heard. The word is not heard before. So it's a Greek word. It's called Ourea. That U is kind of silent out there. So Ourea means it's a Greek word. It means mountain. So I am always fascinated by Greek myths, stories. I find it very, very kind of like a storytelling. Very much, what do you call? It's kind of like whatever they have created. It's so beautiful. If you take the movies and such, the Greeks are kind of like, I don't know why I am very, very much obsessed with that Greek series as such. So because when I wanted to start a company, I was like thinking too much went through different words. And finally, I ended up there. So the concept is that mountain, and again, I conceptualized it because mountain is something which is very hard to climb. But the thing is that once you climb and you reach the tip of or the zenith of it, the vision or the thing, what you see from that tip of the mountain is so beautiful. You can never experience that. That is what you call the success. So absolutely. I conceptualized that mountain into a different concept with our business management consulting or our venture. And that was one concept. And the other concept was that it said that, the gods of Olympus, they used to discuss their problems and, like something we call like a King Sabha and all, where people, the different gods tell that this is a problem, this is like, so that was where they used to have their discussions and stuff. Okay, this is there in Wikipedia. That's what I read. You know what? Again, I conceptualized that thing where they had different kind of gods. Okay, like nice, different kind of gods. You know what? I made all these 7 people. Okay, there were 7 people who were doing the main kind of discussion out there. I took that 7 thing into 7 domains. So Ourea is a place where people used to discuss their thing. And I made, okay, these 7 gods are my 7 domains. The 7 domains actually sit together over this mountain, and they decide and they figure out a solution, they give it. So the second concept was created. So and that was beautiful. While coming into that conceptualization part, I don't know whether it was a coincidence or it was natural or whatever you call it. Every domain which I connected to the other god, there is something connected. The HR part is a people's person. I'm like, how is that possible? But that was possible. Maybe like, that Om Shanti Om ka dialogue, Nagar Shiddat se tum kisi cheez ko dil se chaho to kainat ki zarra zara. So kainat was working for me. So I'm a huge fan of Paulo. Paulo is like, I think that if anybody asks me, it's my dream to see that guy at a point of, when I reach on a global platform, I would say that a part of my success is dedicated to that man, because that statement of his gave me a lot of hope and a lot of, hope is something which, at any point you have that success or whatever, it will come to you. Because like Kochi said, no, you have that intense crave in you, the entire universe conspires for you. That was what exactly happened to me. Like I said, no, how did that HR consulting ka god became the HR people, the people's person.
Right.
That's how, and then, like I said, we started as a training thing, then we incorporated marketing, and finally we bought in training. So then anything anything that is up to it, it's kind of like connected. Then we also have I have also another company called Flexi Cloud, which is a managed cloud hosting company. So that is, it's like we create website, the other part hosted. So now we are, and then eventually on this journey, I should not forget what I started now, because if I forget that, then 2021 was too good for me. Like I said, I bagged so many awards, we got so many recognition. Our revenue actually tripled compared to when people were telling, oh, we are doomed. None of us could even sleep. Because like I said, the digital presence was so badly required, because everybody wanted that competitive edge. So we were like working, because we knew it, that was our time. So that time I realized that since we have so many experts in the field, because my team is, comprising of a lot of CXOs and people who are really into this field, who are experts also. They've accumulated their experience over the years, in particular in their specific domains. So I was like, why can't I bring that old training concept of mine to an actual thing wherein I not only educate or empower graduates against startup, because I myself am a startup failure. So why don't I do a startup mentoring? So again, I made my, though I was doing kind of a mentoring, like, business coaching stuff and all, but I bought in that total training concept in EdTech platform, because and believe it or not, that time EdTech came a huge hit. 2021, EdTechs were kind of a startup market. So we came with this likes means learning innovative key employment skills. That was a concept. So you learn some kind of good skills rather than your technical part. So that's how it evolved. And today we have that EdTech startup moving, and we got one of the awards from Ministry of Ayush, for the innovative curriculum we have created. So that's it. So this from Ourea, again, Flexi Cloud came in, then EdTech startup came in, and we are just the only one, we don't have a corporate compliance this thing, which we are again, the legal part also, we are collaborating with people, and we are looking forward to it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. This is something so thoughtful and beautiful. Nobody could have thought the root.
Yeah, I told you, the same Intel ka process somewhere. It's all about what you read. See, it's not what you read or what you imitate or what you copy. You can copy as many things. You Google, you get every information on the net. But the thing is that how do you implement it and how deep you understand? In every session of my startup mentoring, I do tell people, people come to me and like, you told me in that last class, do apply this thing. So I asked you, yeah, I told you to find the concept applied, but how deep did you dig it? I said on a generic concept, dig it. So you actually took those entire words of mine, literal words of mine, till that it's end. It's your concept, your company, your venture. Something you have to contribute, right? Your spark should be there, right? Unless your namkeen or whatever you call, kuch bhi ho, like apna ho, then the flavor comes up.
Absolutely.
So that's what people sometimes they don't for this cat and mouse race to succeed. Everybody is like success. My definition of success is not only making money. Like recently I was being interviewed for another platform where like, what is your definition for success? So I would say that success is not definitely revenue generation is a big criteria for success because we are all entrepreneurs. An entrepreneurship, the definition itself, creating an idea and generating revenue out of it. But the fact is that it is entrepreneurship doesn't get contained in that single revenue generation thing. You have to solve a problem of an entire clan or a society or something. You give up to people wherein that remain consistent. It's not a factor which came in our favor. We exploited it. No, it doesn't end there. Then you won't be having that consistency. The consistency comes only when we keep on add flavors to it. We make different perspective, different strategies. If one strategy is successful, it doesn't mean that it's always successful. You have to understand people's mindset change. People sometimes get bored with us, the same thing. So you have to, that spice of life, everything it should be and change is constant. As we all know, nothing is constant other than change. So bringing in change, innovation, disruption, that matters.
Absolutely. Okay, so since you told me about your ups and downs and your entire journey, what would you consider to be your first big break in your career?
Yeah, I had from my journey, all the bits and fragments I've told you, there were so many turning points. The first turning point was me coming to join that college. The idea of entrepreneurship started. Second is another break wherein I failed and then I came back. The third is but I would say that my third comeback was the actual turning back because I was prepared. I know what I was going to do. So I see, it was not about success or I make up this time because third time I was doing good also. I said the COVID pandemic chaos came in. So it doesn't mean that even the third time I put all my strategies or I got the great team that whatever has to come, it will come. So, but the thing is that how we tackled it matters. So I think the third time was the actual turning point because I was totally prepared of it. No matter what, I'm not going to give up. And I never gave up. Even in beginning, I didn't give up. Otherwise, I would not have evolved till this state. People say that, whatever I've created in 2021, it's a 1-year change. People talk about this woman is a disruptor. Okay. So many awards that came as a woman disruptor award. And it's actually, I would say it honestly, it's not the disruption that I created in that 2021. It is from 2013 I've been struggling. That experience from 2013 to 2021, what I've created, all clubbed gave me this. Trust me, a year I cannot do this disruption. Even if I did it also, that would be a kind of a flavor of that time. Maybe I could not take it ahead. But today we have evolved into this evolved or scaled up or expanded as I call it. This happened all because of 7 years. Even when I failed, also I failed in revenue. I didn't fail in experience. I didn't fail in understanding the industry. I already had a name. My brand reach was going in from 2000. If you check my FB, if you check my
right.
This is there from 2013. Though 2017 I came up strong. So right. I think that it's not so that the turning point. Every little turning point gave way to the big turning point. I would say like that, because I can't call it one single thing, that would be like me being selfish. When I got success, I'm telling, oh my God, this was my turning point. I would say that right. Each small bit of turning point where I even, it's not only about me getting successful in entrepreneurship. I think that I evolved myself from the person I was 7 years back, and today I am how matured I am, even on a personal note, like, how I understand people more. Right. Like when I started, it was, for me, it's more kind of like me in my shoes, though I was compassionate, empathetic, sympathetic and all, but I understood that I should not be too much empathetic, not too much sympathetic, but kind of everything should be a balance. So I think that the balance of life I learned from entrepreneurship. So I think if you ask me the turning point, I would call it that, that turning point where I learned how to strike a balance in everything I do. On a professional front or a personal front, that is where I think the real turning point took place.
Very rightly said. Okay, so now that you've discussed about your turning point, what is that one skill, if not skill, that emotion that you wished you'd learn before joining this industry, and now you look for in people, while hiring and recruiting?
That's a very, very sharp person. Seriously, very sharp person. Because if I say that, then that's one of the ingredients you asked about any organizations. Their magic wand one specific element you asked. So right. I would say that how to implement, like I said, operational effectiveness. Whatever right. you conceptualize, or whatever ideas you have, whatever skills you have, how do you implement in your system? Whatever you contribute, it's like what input you give. Out of that, how much output it's coming. Because we know that output by input is efficiency. So efficiency wise, you give some input, how much output you can give up. That is where I count. If somebody who's putting even a little bit input, you can bring an output ratio where his efficiency, his or her efficiency is high. I would say that implementation part is the pivotal role. So if that skill, I would have urged, maybe 7 years back, though I would say that, that time I had the skill. I would not say, I cannot actually, believe that I might be today what I am, because everything is destined, or the journey is like, it's like that. We cannot change it. But still on a professional front, if you ask me, I would definitely say that implementation part is the biggest skill. If I know if I have a strategy, how much portion of it I can implement, or how much successful I can implement, or how can I blend my strategy to implementation. That the two daga, if I can connect it, then that's perfectly fine. Not like, again, I'm telling you 100% no, but more than 50% if I can do, or the least of the input I can put in, where I can bring more input than the output. Definitely, I think it's something huge. If I would have got that skill before, the concept all I have created, I would not have taken this much time. For sure. I'm not because I should have, if I would have understood that reality where, implementation takes a real thought process, which I understood, like I said, the evolution took place gradually, where I understood it. If I would have understood it earlier, definitely, maybe I would have, definitely, for sure, I would have taken a different flight. But still, it's fine.
All right. So the shift from offline to online, the outbreak of the pandemic and everything changing so quickly. Yes, digital world was bound to happen. It was inevitable, but this push which Corona gave it to it. How do you feel has affected your company? Is it been beneficial or has it been challenging? And if it has been challenging, what solutions did you all come up with to tackle this thing?
Okay. So as we all know, everything has pros and cons. Right. It's not that whenever you have something, everything is good. Never that has happened. Then then this would have, then I would call this as a heaven. So it's not that it would be a stupid thought that, we can get everything, or, we have every choices. That never happens. If that happens itself, if there was a choice like that, where everything we just, then according to me, this world would be more chaotic. And one more thing is that we would be more lethargic. We wouldn't find anything innovative, because when we are in stress, when we have pressure, because Corona, when it came, though it is chaotic, we identified a lot of things. Yeah, business doomed. I agree to that factor. But when business doomed, we came up with something greater. So sometimes I feel that every problem, when it comes, when we think, we innovate in such a way that we come up with a solution for a bigger problem.
Right.
So in like you call, when COVID came in, yeah, definitely I won't say that I was like, oh, it is cool, I'm fine, I know everything. Never. It was like that. Even I was like, oh my god, don't, like I told you before also, the third time it came, like I was going, the cold thing was running through my spine. We're like, no way, I'm not going to fail again. But the way I told you, how we implemented it. Already I answered you that thing, like how we implemented that likes program into the thing, wherein we started to train our own people. We implemented program in our own system. We trained them with our, they were freshers, but the freshers are very much, they're very fresh with their concepts, innovative. They blend it fast, but they don't have the experience. So what I did is that I blended the experience of my expert in the field with the fresh minds, collaborated both of this thing, which gave me a very big, vibrant, productive team. I just placed them into the box. I didn't have to do much. It became automated. So that is where that's one thing I did. Another thing, like I said, I bought in that branding concept in there during the Corona. Though I was starting to implement it, but when Corona came in, I pushed it a bit more harder. Like I said, I did a lot of research on that part. So I think that's the blessing. In disguise, what we got it from what happened to Corona. But it doesn't mean that everything is still that very smooth, because we are all working from home today. I'm at office, but we have completely shifted our system on a online basis, on a virtual platform, where all of my employees are working from home. That is actually something very disturbing. It's true that everything is happening. We have got CRM softwares, we have got every automated tools, but again, that human connect, what I had with my each individual employee, kind of like I can't reciprocate it in the way I used to, because anything and the productivity that we used to have, because I am there personally, I'm there. It's not that I'm pushing them when I'm it's like they fear me, oh, ma'am is there, so we have to do. It's not like that. I involve so much with them because everybody are there. I'm looking here, there. I have my 360-degree span out there, where I get involved in every process, and I'm virtually anything, even a small change is there, I can implement it then and there. But if it is virtual, the thing is that it takes time to come to me. Again, the changes is like 2-3 times, so it's taking time. And sometimes we get pissed off balancing all these things. And yet another fact which people find it very maybe kind of weird, but it is very difficult to work from home when compared to your office. Or I think every Especially every women I know would agree to that fact, because when you're at home, the pace in which you're working at office is different. Like kabhi when I'm in a call, my elder son comes to me, Mama, I want this. Then my daughter will come and like, oh, this, that. And then the maid will come and ask, okay, this is this much enough? I can't even attend a call with piece of it's not that disturbing, but the problem is that they're getting involved in a path. Right. And it is happening all because we are not completely in a ecosystem where we are focusing totally in work.
Right.
So the balancing part is kind of very difficult. Very difficult. And one more thing is that it's a human tendency. If like, if I'm at office, of course, my grown-up kids know to handle things. But when I'm there, the psychological things work over that. It's kind of like, mom is there. Why should you fret? So I think as an entrepreneur, this is the part where I'm having the toughest call, balancing my personal life, even my husband, my mother, my father, everybody. It's kind of like, they feel like it's what is there? It's you're there, right? Do this, at office, right? So they're not understanding. Even if I'm not at office, it doesn't mean they're all from professional field. My people are also into business. Everything is there. But when it comes to an individual platform, I don't know, samajh ki daira na, it goes out of it. It's like, it's okay, like she'll balance it. It's always, they take I think on an evolution process, they think that, okay, I'm that perfect thing. Okay, I'll balance it. Always, I don't know. It's like, at times I have to convince my own staff, my own family, everybody, my partners or associates, every time, like, I'm normal human. It's not that I strategize things. Everything is foolproof. No way. I mean, to get to that end, I have to struggle and toil hard. But people think that, oh, this is her cup of tea. She's OCD with perfection. So I'm a Virgo by a zodiac. So people think that the Virgo thing, no, she'll do it. Trust me, nothing like that. No magic works until you put things into it. So I think the biggest problem, if you ask what are, like you said, no pros and cons ka thing. Right. This is one area where I am just struggling. Sometimes I really feel like, oh my God, I'm done. I cannot take this pressure anymore. I need peace. Then I'm like, this is how it is. So, and I think every problem, when it comes, it makes you stronger and stronger. That's what I've learned in my entire lifespan, especially when entrepreneurship got blended with it. I really understood that every problem, it comes, it makes you stronger and stronger. It makes you sharper. It makes you build yourself to structure such a such a level, you are confident that, okay, fine, ye mushkil hai par namumkin nahi. It's like not impossible. There's an I am possible thing in that impossible. Absolutely. Corona, yeah, fine. And I believe that a lot of my friends, my associates, the entire ecosystem, I think that, India has developed. If you really check the statistics, you will see most of the companies are investing in Indian startups, because the way they've evolved during this COVID pandemic, you will see that that's a part of these people, they never give up. No matter however you hit them, the harder you hit them, they understand that, okay, we have got this much strength because we're taking it. Yes. I think that's it. So, yeah, COVID though has given us, definitely, it has done its part. It is not that it went, it just halka sa diya aur gaya. No way like that. It hit us hard, for sure. Like every company, because people think that, okay, we have the digital presence. It's not, no. I would, that's an absolute nonsense if anybody thinks like that. Definitely, we have also, there are areas where we got hit with our revenues. But, if it hits there, like I said, with the strategies, I try to balance it somewhere else, bringing that, that equation to a normal. So that works. That's the only thing which works. So still looking forward to do the same magic again and again.
Yes, I absolutely second the fact, working from home, the merger of the work environment and the home environment has been challenging for everybody in some manner or the other.
For example, you asked me for this interview today, a week back. I'm struggling to do it because in my house, it is kind of like I try to make a day, but the calls come in and then I'm stuck up with some household chores or something comes up. I'm like, but if it is an office, I'm pretty much sure, I can't skip it because I have a schedule. My routines are kind of, the calendar is already set. But when you're at home, that intervenes of that particular thing comes in, somewhere that schedule shakes. That is something I'm experiencing. I think every women who are especially in a professional platform, they are really experiencing this as I would call a nightmare again. But still, they're coming up with stronger.
Absolutely. Okay, so moving on to the question, which is going to be helpful for a lot of young, bright entrepreneurs out there, looking for some kind of inspiration or tips from established entrepreneurs like yourself. How did you raise funds and, get to your investors? How did you make them believe in your idea?
Okay. So Ayushi, the first thing is that our own system is our investors because we are a bootstrap company. As of now, we've not got into any kind of investment. But like I said, I do have another company called FlexiCloud, which we are looking into investment where because that's more on an automated system. And if we have funds, we can bring a lot of tech into it, which requires kind of investment. But in case of Ourea, since we are a service-based company and our things, like I said, works on the perfect strategy, I don't want anything to get involved in that, even the investor. So I've kept that exclusively separate, and I totally believe that we still remain as a bootstrap company for as much as we can, and God forbids we don't need any kind of investment because we're doing it good. We really are doing it good. See, I totally believe that if we can do it bootstrapped wise, if you don't need an investment, you should never go for investment. That's what that is what from a lot of experts, which I've so many webinars and associates I've understood. Like if there is no requirement, we should never bring in because that gives you a lot of limitation. Your ideas, sometimes the questions are being asked, and so many constraints. So I don't want that to happen because that requirement or the urge is not of that kind because it's a different kind of platform. But again, like I said, on an edtech platform, which I told you, that lights cutting, there I'm going for an investment because I know that for that, I really like, see, the first time when I began also, I thought was that is only my cup of tea and I can do wonders. But why it failed was that that particular concept is devised in such a manner that I need to have a lot of people in infrastructure, so many elements required because that's something for a long-term process. It's a total breakthrough in education system, or not only education system, for information, knowledge, or anything, because we've got all resources. I'm trying to blend entrepreneurs. I'm trying to blend academia with the industry. So that is not as simple as we see, because we're expanded. Kind of this country is having so much graduates, so much industries, so much experts in this field. So blending these experts, the organization, the graduates, bringing in education and the real-time world is kind of like something not that a concept or even an implementation strategy also. It doesn't work until we have a lot of contribution from outside part. So that is the reason why for sure we are going for funding terms. But I'm not totally prepared with that fund. I'm just, because last year we started recently for like 4 to 5 months. We've not pitched anywhere. I mean, but we are actually preparing ourselves. And FlexiCloud, like I said, we have almost come with our valuation. We've done all our part. Now it's just we need to get into the market, pitch it, get good investors. Though I'm connected to so many investors on a pan-India basis, and so many people who really know. But I like I said, no, the initial point of my entrepreneurship taught me, unless you're prepared, unless you know what you're going to do, unless you're going to shoot all the questions of your investor, unless you're thoroughly going to convince them, okay, my platform is something where you're not going to get any kind of loss other than profit. The moment I myself am convinced as if I am an investor, then I'll take it. So I think FlexiCloud, we have done all our homeworks. We are going to plunge in. And then once that is done, I'll get back into the EdTech platform. And eventually it's kind of like, because now we are almost into a scaling process, because we are stabilized now. We don't need any kind of, to develop or to start, we don't need any kind of fund. We just need to scale up. So that scaling up part, yes, I think sometimes funding is a must when it comes to more of an automation. Like I said, it depends upon different platforms. Ourea is a branding or a 360-degree business management consultancy service company. We don't need any kind of thing. But likes as an edtech platform, we definitely require. And FlexiCloud, since it's a hosting company and we are connected to so many people all across the globe, we need a big automation system wherein we are not looking to hire too many people. Like we like to go on a automated system, bringing more tools, and that requires a huge sum of money, which definitely the investor can help us a lot, and profit, and we're making a good profit also, even without any kind of investment. We are like, our valuation is quite good.
Okay, awesome. So what are the new products or services, for that matter, the viewers or audience can expect from Ourea in the upcoming months or the year? Are you planning to launch any new services?
Yeah, we are thinking of creating. See, Lights itself is a like it's totally evolved. The application has already been done, but even the traction has been taking place slowly. But we are trying to take it on an enterprise level, wherein we are collaborating with organization, because training these employees is not a very kind of like smooth process, and basically it requires a lot of time, and time is something which we don't have. So if an organization is coming with keen focus into it, where we have resources for it, definitely I think enterprises would appreciate and encourage it. So yes, I would say that Likes is our latest funda.
Lovely. Okay, so coming to my final question, tell me in one sentence, Ourea in 2030. How would you describe it? It's okay, take a minute.
Complicated question, because I have already designed Ourea as a one single statement, where you call 360-degree business management company, where anything and everything for a business we have given. But like you said, we are going to be definitely this thing. Since we have achieved this thing, I have to come up with a new statement, like you said, because you're talking about the future, like after maybe a decade or like 5 years. So I would like Ourea to be featured in that. I would not call Fortune 500. No. Because I'm very realistic, very realistic.
Right.
But definitely, I would. I've achieved so much. Me and my company, my partners, all of us together, our team have. We have definitely we have amazed a lot of achievements during these years. On pan-India basis, and even globally also we are connected. But I would I really look forward in creating Ourea at every major cities, every major continents, every major countries. We have a branch, and that name is everybody is kind of like, oh, that's amazing company. That's there in everybody's just whenever they talk or interaction, it's there in a lips. So that's something which I am looking forward, where I do have my brand just expands all across globe. Every nook and corner, I have my company's presence. Definitely, though I can maybe I might not cover up every nook and corner, but definitely in 5 years, I'm looking for major places. Europe, definitely a major chunk of Europe. United States, though we have client clay, but definitely I would love to expand on a stronger mode, and definitely GCC also. These three areas I'm trying to push in every powerful countries, or those areas where it's kind of we can blend it.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Perfect. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your insightful experience with us, and we wish you all the best with this venture of yours. Thank you so much.
Thank you.